Basketball means a lot to me. In a way, it's kind of like a microcosm of life. So a lot of the struggles, all good sides that you can get from basketball, you can also get from life. The competition aspect, bouncing back from L's, staying humble when you're winning. So yeah, I'm really using it for, not just because I enjoy the game, but also my own personal development. My name is Jordan Gray. I'm a point guard from Northwest London, and I play for the Barnet Bulldogs. I got into the game as a child that just played a lot of different sports. Like, when I was younger, I actually wanted to be a wrestler. Yeah. But I used to play football, wrestle with my brothers all the time. Basketball was just another sport I did, track. So yeah, naturally I was playing that, but I started actually taking it a bit more seriously when I was about 15. That's where I narrowed down from the other sports to playing basketball. So when I came off the bench, I'm not looking at it as a thing of, why am I coming off the bench type thing. If you produce, you're gonna get your minutes regardless. So in a way, I was kind of using it as an opportunity to suss out the opponents, see what they do on different reads, see what looks I can get. I was playing CBL with Brent Ballers. It was an under-16 game. I can't remember the team I was playing against, but I remember the referee was Frank. So in that game, I must have had like probably damn near 30 points. And then afterwards, he came up to me and was like kind of giving me props for the performance. And I was probably about 14 at the time. And I thought, oh wow, like I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. And that was just a nice realization. And just kind of wanted to get that feeling a bit more as a young boy. So I just carried on. But obviously now it's developed into different reasons why I'm also playing. But yeah, I think that was the first realization for me. So when I first started playing, I used to just watch, like naturally, videos of Michael Jordan, because that's just the first person that you hear about when you start playing basketball. Then I started watching a lot of Allen Iverson, to the point where I was even cutting my sister's tights and wearing it as like arm sleeves and stuff like that. But the most influential people so far in my life, basketball-wise, is definitely Coach Patrick and Coach Jimmy, because the amount they've taught me outside of even basketball and the investment that they've put into me from when I was younger, which has like influenced my life so heavily, like can't thank them enough. My other coaches also had big parts in my life, like Coach JJ, Coach Will. The reason why Coach Pat and Coach Jimmy stick out so much to me is just the investment that they had in our life. There was a time when like some things were going on, and Coach Pat, I came home and Coach Pat was in the living room with my parents, organizing my day. Like, and I was thinking, how do you even know where I live? Like, how did you get here? Yeah. But bro, how much they did for us, like jokes aside, like now actually just sitting down and thinking about it, the things that they probably saved us from as well, not making it out like, oh yeah, it's crazy, but the things they probably saved us from outside of basketball as well is very, like, I'm very, very grateful that I had and still have them in my life. And hopefully there'll be a period of time in the future where it can be repaid. they'll teach you about consistency, consistency, not making no excuses, and giving. Like, effort is a non-negotiable. But like, they'll teach you about marginal gains, man. Like, we were in there every single day. And then because of that, we were above our competition. Like, I think a lot of people rely on like microwave success. They think, oh yeah, I go hard for 1 month, 2 months, and then I'm good. They literally taught us, you're gonna do something every single day, and then just make it a habit and make it your lifestyle, and then that's when you see the results of things. I think that's something I've carried out into other areas of my life as well. And the standards they set for us, like I said, we would genuinely be beating teams by like 60 points that last year of our ABL, and we'll come to practice and we'll do something mad, like 150 sets of stairs, because, like, do you know what he used to do? He used to have a clip chart where they'll get someone from the college to come and tick every single time the person from their team got into the paint. Like, and every single time they ticked it was a set of stairs, or like 10 sets of stairs or something crazy. And he had such high standards that even if you fell below it, it was still higher than you would have set for yourself. So it was a very interesting form of coaching, but I'm very happy that I was able to benefit from that. I think it's funny now, because I would say when I first started, I used to get a bit like anxious, which I wouldn't necessarily say is a big problem for me anymore. But I think it was a big journey to actually get there, because I think when I was first playing and stuff like that, I wanted people to have like a good perception of me all the time. And as I got older, I'm not saying I don't care about what anybody thinks, because I have more specific people that I care about their opinions more than everyone else. That's in good and bad as well, because I understand now that depending on what's happening, people's opinions of you can sway like crazy. So yeah, that helped me big time coming to those realizations. You know what? So it started off at one point, then it went away, then it came back at one point. I think it all came down to not wanting to make mistakes. Initially, because obviously I've just started playing basketball, you make more mistakes. Then it went away for a massive patch of time. When I was playing with Coach Patrick, he set such high standards for us that you wasn't even thinking about making a mistake or what you look like and whatnot. Like, we could be beating a team by 60 points and he's on us and he's not happy. So like, but then it became weird, because it was kind of like I needed Coach Patrick to be coaching me to play well, which was weird. But so then when I went to Essex, I came in in a way arrogantly, because I've just had a great span of time where I thought, nah, like I'm top guy, no one can chat to me, wherever. And then I think because the style of play that I was playing in college compared to when I went to Essex was so different, that people were always in my ear. Any decision that I made initially led to someone telling me stuff, and then I started doubting, oh damn, am I making the right decisions, whatever. And then that kind of made me start feeling nervous again, but then I started playing with Coach Ross initially in D3. That's my guy. And he gave me a lot of, like, encouraged me a lot. I had a great year. I managed to get the MVP of the league that season. He got Coach of the Year. Then from there, I think the confidence started coming back because I started understanding that thing that I mentioned earlier about being intentional. When you're scared to make a mistake, you end up making a mistake. But when, like, you know what it is, if you're gonna make a mistake, make it with chest rather than being wishy-washy about it. And I think that's the same thing that you can carry out in your life. I think my first year at Essex, I don't think I spoke to any of my teammates, genuinely. Like, it's so funny because I've got so many good friends from there now. Like, I don't know, it was just if I'm being honest, at the beginning it was a big cultural shock, which is strange because, like, the UK is such a small place, so you'll be, I don't know, I think when you live in London, you get used to London, but London isn't England. Like, London isn't the rest of the UK. It's so different. So, what was it like? Yeah, so at the beginning, didn't talk to my teammates, didn't have the greatest relationship with them, was doubting myself, and then it started to change. I think I was able to build relationships with people when you notice that you have a lot more in common. Start to learn more about yourself, what things that may mentally hold you back, things that may push you forward. And yeah, I learned a lot at Essex because it was weird. I feel like I started off in one way, but then by the end of it, I felt like I was getting a lot of appreciation and love from the people there, which was, it was nice to see. There was a lot of stuff that happened in my personal life as well that kind of was affecting how I looked at basketball. I think one of the biggest low moments that I had was when I had the opportunity of getting like a nice contract in the SLB, where I thought it was like Garrow. And then last minute, contract gone. And then I was like, damn. Sorry, even at that same time, prior to that, I had a season-ending injury. And as somebody who's like hardly ever been injured, that has rattled me a little bit. Those were the biggest lows that I could think of because those both kind of happened at the same time. Like, I was looking forward to having a great year, got injured mad early. Then, despite that, someone reached out to me and said that there was some interest from this team. And I was thinking, oh yeah, God's plan is still working out. And then when that kind of just randomly, like, appeared unexpectedly and disappeared unexpectedly as well, then it kind of just rattled me a bit there. But then I think there was a lot of lessons that I learned from that as well. So I remember, I could tell you the game, literally. I was playing for Essex and we were playing against Bradford. And having a good game, I was sprinting as fast as I can. And then I stepped on a guy's foot and, so imagine this is my big toe. Like, my toe bent like that and all the way, all my force pushed into it. And I literally heard the snap So what happened is that the ligaments in my toe snapped, and the bone at the bottom, like your big toe joint or whatever, that like cracked. So my toe was completely cooked. And obviously, whilst you're walking, all your force is on your big toe. Initially, I was hoping that it was like a sprain. I finished the rest of the game, but while I was playing the game, I was literally like in so much pain. We didn't even win. But yeah, I initially thought, okay, surely it's a sprain. Sometimes I will delay going to the doctors because you don't want to actually hear what they have to say. So I was like, all right, let me just rest it a little bit, then I'll jog on it, see what's happening. Every single time I put force on it again, it will balloon. And then I think for like two, 3 months, I didn't go to the doctors, just hoping that it would get better, which was annoying because obviously this whole time the season's going on as well. Didn't end up getting better. I went to the doctors and they were like, yeah, you've like done your footing. They were like, you're even lucky that you're going to be able to play basketball but you know when doctors say that, you don't really believe them anyway. But they were like, you're lucky that if you can play basketball again because if the bone healed back in a certain way, like your toe would have been cooked. Obviously, thank God that wasn't the case, but it did take a long rehab period to get back to playing. I didn't play any other game that whole season. The only game I played was the Derby Day match at the end of the year. And back to the point about being a low, that was my last season at Essex. So I was hoping to have go out on a real bang, but yeah, that wasn't the story, but I'm still just hopeful for everything else that's coming. That was one of the darkest periods of my whole life, genuinely. Like, the amount of things that happened at the same time. So, like, for example, one of my close friends, he was in prison for a while. He came out, things were going well, and then he died shortly after. And that happened whilst I was injured as well. And then there was other stuff as well going on in life, but then I feel like it was a bunch of different things that all came in at the same time. And it really rocked me. But I think through all of that, I really started taking my faith seriously, which is probably the biggest part of my life right now. Prior to that, I don't think I really took my faith seriously, but when you see a lot of things crashing down in your life at one period, and you notice that God is probably like the only constant, not even probably, God is the only constant, you start to look at life differently. I think it went in phases. I don't think I ever thought, oh, I'm never going to play ball again or anything like that. I think at the beginning I was just low. I was just angry, annoyed. I think anger was the biggest feeling. Then it gets to a point, it's like, bro, how long are you going to be angry for? Like, you actually have to get on with your life. Like, if you just sit down, like, it's literally that whole thing, that poor me thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, life happens to everyone. And plus, would my friend want me to just sit down and just let life go by? I think he really believed in me in terms of basketball and stuff as well. So the bounce back mentality was major for me, very, very major. Still something that's pushing me now, that and many other things as well. So yeah. First team I played for after Essex was TVC. So it was very different. It was an interesting experience because I didn't play the whole season with them. I managed to actually, so this is where my body started getting a bit weird because I picked up another injury. Which was strange because, like I said prior, I wasn't really getting injured. So the preseason, everything was going amazing. We had a great team. I thought this team was winning a chip 100%. Then got injured, people were leaving, people had their whatevers, and didn't go that way. So now I was getting a bit tired of basketball in a way. So I chose to sit out. So I left, tried to get myself right. And then during that process, Westminster Warriors shouted me, who were also playing D1. Started playing there. I just wasn't 100. My Achilles was hurting me and I'm thinking, I've never been injured and now I'm picking up toe, Achilles, what's going on? So I just played the whole season frustrated. Yeah, after that, it was a bit of a, I think I was being tested mentally again. There was a lot of lessons to learn again, but yeah.
You guys don't know who Kobe is. He's definitely doing it for life. Great shot from Sammy. Everyone's hitting now. Everyone's hitting now. Giving the captain chucking a rest. Young boys moving in. I was like, he's on that tear today. Well, it looks like he just got himself injured. If he's out, I don't know what Greenwich is going to do.
It was like, you would have a great patch, started off on fire, things were going great. And then it's like some kind of hurdle will come that will just set you back. And it's like, damn, I just need a clean run. I think that's what the frustration was coming from. It was like, especially because it was coming from my body. Like I said, injuries have never been a part of things that I've struggled with. So to have that be the limiting factor to why I feel like I'm not playing my best and why I'm not even able to play in some situations was really, really frustrating me. Then here's where certain noises can come into your ears again, where you think, you know, there's a thing where it's like, it's recency bias with basketball. You're only as valid as when you're playing. Yeah, so then I was seeing that, okay, my names were being left out of certain conversations and stuff like that. And that was frustrating me a bit again. But then, like I said, I just want to emphasize on the different lessons that each hurdle kind of taught. I'm still learning now, but I feel like if I was able to have the mindset that I have now, earlier on, it would be so interesting to see what type of person I would be right now. But regardless, I'm just grateful for every low and high, and just ready to keep on going. It's interesting because there's some opportunities that are coming at hand. I've had a mad journey with basketball, from having the biggest dreams to being like, right, like F this, to then just being accepting of everything that it has to give to you. Like, I think before, basketball was playing me, if that makes sense. Like my mood would be determined by basketball, everything would be determined by basketball. But now, I think the roles have switched. Like, I'm using basketball for everything it can give me. Like I said, there's opportunities that are coming now. I've been paid to play basketball. Like, still getting like money from playing basketball and stuff like that. Like, promoting my brand with basketball. More people have seen it through me performing. More people have seen my brand through me performing than if I wasn't. I'm getting to embody the stuff that I'm trying to push through my brand. So like basketball is a benefit to me playing basketball right now, rather than basketball draining me for everything that I've got. And I think people need to make that switch as soon as possible, because it's mad. It's just a ball, but it can literally take everything from you, bro. If you're not careful, that ball will have you banging your head. So, like, yeah, like I said, I'm just grateful for God, for everything that basketball's given me and it's gonna give me, and just not trying to cheat the game and just take it one step at a time. I'm open to any blessing that comes. I kind of keep a lot of things to my chest in terms of my personal goals. But the way I'll put it is that I'm open to all the blessings that are coming from this.